Good morning. Thank you for joining us when everybody does log on or watches this later on. I'm Erica Stacey from Scout Digital Marketing and Training, and I'm joined this morning by social media scout Jen Everson from Jen Everson Consulting. Jen and I are going to be chatting through some top social media trends for businesses to consider in 2018. So if you have any questions, do pop them in the comments as well, and we'll try and cover them, but Jen has a big list of things to go through. Before we start, I'll get Jen to give a quick introduction. Can you just let us know about your background and anything interesting you're working on at the moment?
What I do, life story. I live on Facebook, Instagram. You ask my husband what I do for a living, I just Facebook. I'm Jen, everyone. Hi. And I've been in the digital space for about 10 years now. I always want to say 4 years, but then you think about it. Well, I think about it, and then you're like, oh, actually, I've been around way before fan pages were a thing. Obviously not from here. So started in the States in Seattle working with a company called Recipes.com. They do lots of food things, so started my love for food working for them.
Food and social media.
Yes, I know. Perfect pairing. I've been in Australia for about 5 years. Worked for a winery. Worked with Erica. Now I'm just a consultant, hanging out, doing some things.
Just a consultant.
Doing a few things for still some companies back in America, and then really, focusing on, I would say, food, life, and wellness. But when it comes down to it, I just love to work with companies of all sizes that are passionate about their business, because I'm passionate about social media and digital marketing. So it's just to help them achieve their goals. So,
I think that's where you get the best results as well. You can bring all of your skills and knowledge and passion about social, work with business owners who know their business inside out and need help with understanding the options available for social and the resources sometimes. And if you can work those two together, then perfect. Cool. Okay, so trends. Let's jump in. What's going on?
So much is going on. Well, obviously, in the digital space, especially social media, things are changing all the time, and I find that with a lot of clients that I work with or people with their, small, medium, large businesses, unless you've got a dedicated full-time social person, you aren't necessarily on top of all the changes that are happening day to day. And we are in this, basically 24 hours a day. So we know all the changes and all the things that are coming up, but change is always going to be there. Not that it's a new thing, but in 2018, even more change is coming. So for those of you who didn't see or haven't heard, Mark Zuckerberg posted a lovely message about some changes that are coming to Facebook, specifically with the algorithm changes. And it's really for our Facebook, I think their focus this year and beyond probably is going to be more peer-to-peer connections. So not doing as much with the personal, your personal profile connecting with the brand page or a fan page of some sort. So obviously, if you run a business and you have a fan page, you need to think about how you can still engage your audience, build your audience, and kind of get your messaging out there. And so, I think some of the things we'll talk about will help people with that. But that's a big one. It's always changing. But this year, I think even more so than we've seen in the last couple of years.
It is. And it seems to be a balance between, I think one of the big things that I took away from Mark's update is, obviously, we can speculate about the other stuff that's going on behind the scenes in Facebook and finances and those types of things, but it does seem to be this drive to get back to it being a social platform and those social connections with friends and family. So it's important for businesses to remember that it's social media and there's that social connection and giving and conversations and engagement that they need to get on board with. It's not just a place to push your latest product and expect everybody to see it, because I was trolling through the We Are Social and Hootsuite 2018 report on the weekend, and I'll share the link afterwards because it's really useful. But David, stated as well, what we all know, organic reach is going down again. So it's really forcing businesses to think about how they're using the platform overall from that social element, as well as the technological changes, which I know you want to run through for those new features and technology, which is moving so fast. I can't even keep up. Too much.
when we were preparing for this, we were just saying, so what are the last changes you've seen in the last 24 hours?
Oh, it was the same when I was saying even with Facebook Live, like the last time I did a Facebook Live, this is how it worked. Today, it's all different.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've got, a lot of, there's changes all the time.
All right, so I think the first thing probably is, we talked about, there are going to be more features coming out, but not necessarily a trend, but something that businesses definitely need to think about is Facebook has launched, Facebook, Instagram, digital channels, social channels have launched a lot of new features in the last year.
Mm.
So this year, think about using those features. You don't have to completely change your social media strategy. Hopefully you have a social media strategy. You don't have to completely change it, but you need to really think about, okay, Facebook is going to make these changes for the end user. So my target audience, the end user, how are they going to use Facebook now compared to how did they use it a year ago or 2 years ago?
Mm.
So things like, Facebook Live, like we're doing today. Instagram Live, Instagram Stories, there's even Facebook Stories. Those are just some of the things that have come out. And when I look at brands and what fan pages are doing, I really see a missed opportunity for people who have a great product or have a great story to really use these features to tell part of that story, as in behind the scenes. Or one example I've always given, as long as we've worked together, is I used to work at a winery and marketing team of one, and it was amazing. And I love wine, but to me it was always like, go to the shop, find a cool wine with a cool label, maybe the guy will tell me, if you like this, you'll like this, whatever. But it never really occurred to me how the wine got into the bottle. And I've been working at the winery, my eyes were open to this whole process of kind of from vineyard to bottle, and really encouraging them to use, photos and video to tell the story of how, the grapes go through this growing process. And it was little things. One thing that always stuck in my mind, and I think was probably one of the most successful pieces of content, was the winemaker said, when the almond trees bloom, it's 5 weeks until the first bud. It was, and
wow.
It was just like, what? And then literally on the dot, 5 weeks. And I was like, this is amazing! Like, we need to share this on social media. Like, it's like that. So, now that there are these features where you can do things kind of instantaneously, really have that timely content.
Really raw, so it doesn't have to be polished.
You can share these bits of your story and kind of, behind the scenes that people aren't privy to when they go to the shop or, go to your cellar door to buy that end product.
Yeah, and I think a lot of businesses take for granted and organisations, because this can refer to not-for-profit organisations as well. But we take for granted a lot of what we do as being normal and commonplace, and who would care about that?
Yeah.
But the thing is, people do care, and it's really cool. And I'm going to start name dropping here. So I think we need some examples. Pizza Checker in McLaren Vale.
Love that.
Love them. Not a client, not affiliated at
just
all.
love their pizza.
But they had this whole Instagram story on the weekend, this weekend or last weekend, maybe last weekend, Australia Day. They were making their red sauce because they homemade in their shed the red sauce that goes on all their pizzas. So they just had, it was about 6 little videos and photos of the staff preparing the tomatoes, squishing them, getting the skins out, making the sauce, bottling it. This is what goes in our pizzas. And it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it didn't take, and it was on a mobile phone. Like, you don't need a professional camera to be doing these things, like we're carrying them. And damn, the new iPhone.
I just got it. It's like, changed my life, you guys. Everything's more
stuff. And this is what, like you were saying, take it back to how the users are using social media. Individual users, when they're doing their own personal Instagram stories and Facebook Live, most of us aren't influencers. Yeah. We're not set up in professional studios. They're actually taking photos
with their phone
and showing real life as it's happening, behind the scenes stuff. So.
Utilizing the features. One thing I think that will become more a trend in 2018 is Facebook advertising. Obviously, this encompasses Instagram as well. With the algorithm changes, and I would say with every algorithm change, pages have been seeing an organic drop.
Yeah,
which
they're
is,
going to keep suffering.
Which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, you have to remember Facebook is a business and they're not going to charge their end users. So how are they going to make money off of people who are wanting to get in the newsfeed, right?
And we're trying to make money out of it.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what businesses are trying to do.
Yeah.
So we're going to pay for the results that we want.
Yes. So, if you've dabbled in advertising, last year, or you've done it for a while, I think some things to start thinking about in 2018 are Facebook is offering different styles of advertising. So obviously you've got video, Canvas, slideshows, all of those. So trying a variety of different ads. We'll talk about video in a second, but video ads can be quite powerful as well. And then it's not really just about having one campaign or two campaigns running at a time. So maybe you've got, we want to increase our community size, so we've got a page likes campaign running. And then maybe we need to sell tickets to an event, so we've got that running. But there are all kinds of objectives you can reach by using Facebook advertising. And all of those are listed out in Ads Manager. If you haven't used Ads Manager before, that's probably something you may want to look at.
Definitely a to-do list, to-do item for 2018.
Yeah, because it's, you go in and you say you're on a post and it says, oh yeah, this post is doing 95% better than the rest of your posts.
You can reach 2,000 more people. Boost fires.
Yeah, so a lot of people do that, which I think is fine, like to first get into advertising, it's quite comfortable to do that, but an Ads Manager can be a little bit overwhelming, but we talk about how that can not be as overwhelming later on.
Yeah, it's worth taking the time to
set it up and understand all the features available, because it can be quite powerful. And Facebook and I think all of my clients, anyone I talk to that's like, oh, you play on Facebook. Like, yeah, Facebook and I have a love-hate relationship. Obviously, with algorithm changes over the years that I've been working on Facebook for brands, it is harder to get your message out if you don't have an ad budget. At the same time, I think Facebook makes advertising quite business friendly, even if you have a smaller ad budget, and they offer you, features like targeting on interest, on age, on location, so that you're getting quality leads over quantity leads. It's not just like a big fish net that you're putting out there.
That's spray and pray.
But and you can advertise for as little as $1 a day, which I used to say, fine, if you don't have an ad budget, give me $7 a week. But now, because of the algorithm changes, you really need to think about in 2018, you need to carve out a good, social media budget that you can use to really reach your audience.
And it's still really cost effective compared
to
more traditional forms of advertising. So obviously it's still a cost, and like you said, you want to get the best result for your cost, so you need to understand the features you've got available. So you aren't just throwing away even your $7 a week on a boosted post. It's what can you actually do with it, and understand those metrics. And one of the ones that I've had drilled into me, because I've had a crash course with all the Ads Manager changes, and Jonathan knows a lot more about this than me. The relevance score, that's what has stuck to me, and it's not always obvious, but when you get into Ads Manager, you can see all these metrics, and the relevance score tells you how relevant your ad is to your audience. And if that's low, it means there's something wrong with it, and you're not hitting the mark. So you either need to edit your ad, pull your ad, change your ad, or running, like you said, multiple campaigns, but multiple ad types. They might have different photos, and you might find that one photo or one video gets a better response over another. So it's trialing all of that, and whether or not you're doing that yourself, and learning how to really jump in, or having somebody else help you with getting that, so you can make the most out of that time and that spend. Because we want a really, really good response. If you're investing the time and the energy.
So it's not, it's not all doom and gloom. I think just the main thing, the big thing you'll see now is, businesses may be looking at the marketing budget and saying, okay, we do need to carve out, or we need a social advertising budget, or we need to carve out a little bit more. And then it's thinking about, okay, how are resources set up? What are things that they can maybe go lean and mean on to ensure that they have the money to get the reach for the messaging, the key messaging they have throughout the year.
That's that overall marketing budget.
And that's just really comes down to, if you understand Facebook's goals for their end user, you can really use that to your advantage thinking about, Facebook wants the end user to do X, Y, Z, so my objectives should align with Facebook's objectives in a way, which is, well, we talked about this earlier. Facebook doesn't want people to leave Facebook.
No.
They just want people to stay in their own ecosystem. Completely understandable. So using the features, utilizing advertising, and there's one thing Eric knows that like email marketing and Facebook advertising, I think go hand in hand. It's like a match made in heaven, especially if you have a pretty robust email list. But doing things like, okay, we want to grow our email list. Instead of creating an ad that then points to your website or to your MailChimp sign up, you can use a lead generation ad where you can then sync that in the back end to your MailChimp.
So you're actually gathering the subscribers within Facebook.
Within Facebook, they don't.
But they're still going back to MailChimp or what have you.
Yeah.
So it's making use of those tools.
Yeah.
That's
So it's just,
fantastic.
I think that's a good one to do.
It is.
Yeah.
That list as well.
Yes. Did I?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab my phone. 'Cause I'm
Now
actually-
I want pizza. Yes. We should do the next one at Pizza Tech.
I'm kind of hoping they would just deliver. If we get a knock on the door and a pizza turns up, Tony, Ando,
I'm never leaving. I'm posting up here the rest of the day.
Okay, so I'm meant to, so much for being prepared. I can't actually read all of the comments properly from here. So, continue. I'll just check if anybody has any questions besides pizza requests.
So we'll wait to talk about video, but the other kind of trend I think that's going to be happening in 2018 and really has started a little bit already in 2017 is the knowing the difference between social listening and social monitoring. So lots of brands and companies have social monitoring down. I need to look for anyone who's mentioning me. I can do that through a Facebook search using a third-party tool like Hootsuite or Sprout Social, anything like that, looking up if you have your own hashtag, on Instagram. But now, okay, you got that down tick, that's done. But now it's thinking about, I need to start listening to the conversations that are happening, especially if Facebook is going to make this more of a peer-to-peer platform, going back to being social with your friends. Listening to conversations and being part of those conversations. So, a really simple example of this is an event's coming up. An event's coming up and you have a booth at the event or like a pop-up wine bar. Pizza and wine bar. Next business venture. So instead of just monitoring for your keywords, start looking at what people are saying about that event as a whole. Are they asking where should we go before the show? Where should we do X, Y, Z? And you can then be part of that conversation. Hey, we've got the perfect wine pizza pop-up tent. Like, be sure to stop by, or you need to make a booking beforehand, or whatever it is. So it's just expanding past. Oh, here are 10 keywords. 5 of them are our brand. 4 of those are our brand misspelled, kind of thing. To really utilizing tools to listen to conversations and be part of conversation that way.
And being genuinely social and genuinely engaging. Because I think you can build up that brand rapport without just trying to sell to people.
Exactly.
It's nice in general. It's good karma. But no, I think people are getting a bit sick of just having brands try to sell to them and jump on. And there's I see it sometimes, particularly on Twitter, if I use a certain word or a certain hashtag, and I all of a sudden get a heap of follows, or I have, if I'm whinging about one of the tools that I'm using because it's not working, and then all of a sudden there's another one that jumps up and straight away trying to sell to me. It's just like, there's a nicer way, like maybe try and help me with my current problem before you try and sell me something. It's like, give a little something before you try and take my money.
I think one of the things that we've always done in our digital social strategies is talk about if your brand page was a personal profile on Facebook, this is something we always do. What would that person sound like, be like? Why would your users want to be friends with them? Right? So, one example is there's a pub that I work with, and it's, they want to, so they're out in the country, but it's like they're a great pub to go to, they've got great specials, et cetera, but they're the ones that you want to go to, and it's like, hey, I'm about to road trip out to you. What do I need to know? Like, what are the road conditions? What are all these things? And they're going to be the ones to say, hey, you need to be sure, know that this part of the track is closed, or bring extra water, or it's going to be really hard. Make sure you have your cell phone or your mobile phone isn't going to work. All of those types of things. So
they're actually really helpful, just genuinely helpful guide.
Yeah, and so it's just thinking about social is fun. You can be fun.
It should be fun.
99.9% of business, you can have a bit of fun on social, and think about how if you were going to be your users' friends, what do you sound like? What do you how do you come across to them?
And I guess that's definitely not a trend. That's just a good practice for anyone that has. And we often forget because we get so focused on our business goals and posting and keeping up with everything. We forget there's people at the other end who are looking at this and scrolling through, and we want to create thumb-stopping moments where they stop and look at our picture. And I'm going to try and paraphrase it. I can't remember. What was it, the top 3 reasons that people use social media to be inspired, be entertained, and I think it's to get specials and stuff as well. So people want discounts and exclusives and specials, but a lot of it is that inspiration, that entertainment that comes from those social connections, which you can get from a business page as well, business account.
So video. Video is always a hot topic, I feel like.
Yes, well, particularly the last couple of years.
It's skyrocketed. I've noticed, I've done a few other Facebook Lives, mainly around food. Coincidental. Some of the pages I work on where we do these Facebook Lives, we create videos, or videos are created, and we upload those, and those perform quite well. But when we do a Facebook Live, surprise, surprise, the reach is 3 times as much as what just a regular video would do. So, Facebook is, no pun intended, making a play for video. And this definitely isn't a trend, but if you've got a YouTube channel, putting up your YouTube link versus uploading a video natively.
Versus doing a Facebook Live. And
it
probably comes down to as well, you're saying these platforms are releasing all these new features and they want people to use them. And while I don't know if they say it directly, but we've seen that when you make use of the new features, you get the reach and the response.
Which I don't think Facebook would come out and say, if you use our features, we'll give you more views.
No.
But if you use the features, and your content is good and engaging.
It's definitely not just the use. If you're pumping out rubbish content, then it's probably not going to last very well. But even things like engaging with Instagram stories, that's one thing that I've noticed with a couple of my client accounts where it's not quite at the point to contribute to Instagram stories yet, but even looking and engaging with other people's, I feel like it's improving our overall engagement level on the platform, because obviously we've got Instagram's algorithm to work with now. So again, I'm only going from my own experience here. But
that's real life experience. Sometimes it's better than I read this case study one
time. So that's where even if you're not ready to jump into using something like stories, then maybe it's looking at other people's and becoming familiar with the style might help. But video,
okay. So again, video's a hot topic, always a hot topic. Mobile first, right? And mobile. Video on mobile.
That's my stats out.
I was telling Erica before we came, I was like, okay, I just upgraded my phone and renewed my contract. It's been 18 months. And, well, obviously coming from the States, when I left the States, it was unlimited data on your phones, which was, I know, it was amazing.
I can't believe I didn't know that.
Yes, but apparently it's not that way anymore. So they've gone backwards. However, Australia, it's moving forwards. So when I got my phone 18 months ago, I only had 3 gigs of data a month, which was kind of mid to high range. So, a few weeks ago I went in and was need a new phone, battery keeps dying, this is what we do. They're like, how much do you use your phone? 24 hours a day. I've got more than 60 gigs now, and I'm paying less. So.
I just said it was 16.
And
it's
cheaper. Oh, did you know I said 16?
I said 0.
Wow. But I think this just goes to show mobile usage in Australia is everyone's always using their phone, but then as we do, because of the industry we're in, you look over people's shoulders. I mean, focus group of one, my husband, sorry Nate, he'll start on a video in YouTube or whatever. It's, it's like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I wake up at midnight, I'm like, what are you doing?
He's still watching.
He's still watching. I'm like, you're like the 1 billion views YouTube gets a day or whatever, But people are using their mobile devices to look at video because it's handy. It's out of your pocket. You don't have to pull out a laptop or your iPad or anything like that.
And even just globally, like you said, within Australia, it's going up. But again, from the We Are Social and Hootsuite report, a few stats. 2/3 of the world's population now has a mobile. The majority of them are smartphones. And that's even, they also had a stat for the number of individual mobile devices because some people have multiple. So there's actually more phones than there are mobile phone users. And they're globally the third device for online use now at 52%. So globally, 52% of all internet browsing is done on mobile. But they did factor in that doesn't cover app use, which is obviously on mobile app use. So that would be even higher.
Yeah, definitely.
And Australia is still just hovering for general internet browsing beneath the 50% mark. But I think it's around about 48 or 49%. So we're getting close to that tipping point that the majority of activity is going to happen. And specifically talking about social, they also had the stat that only 5% of Facebook users don't use a mobile.
Who are these people
to access Facebook? Which means, I use a combination of desktop and mobile, but that means there's only 5% of people who are solely using desktop.
Yeah.
So the majority, and I know some people who only use mobile to access Facebook as well because they don't have a laptop, they don't have a computer, they don't work in an industry or in a job where they're on a computer.
Yeah.
Everything is on their mobile. So as businesses, we need to consider, and I was saying this to Jen beforehand as well, even though I do the majority of my content planning, preparation, and scheduling on my laptop, I'll always think, how is it on mobile? How is it on mobile?
Mm-hmm.
Is the picture going to look okay on mobile?
Where's the text going to break?
Yes.
Like that, yeah.
Yes, and I'll actually go back and edit posts after they've published. You want to do that really quickly.
Yeah.
But you're not always sure exactly where the line break's going to be, so you want to capture people, some stopping moments, capture people in those seconds where they see whatever that opening line is, whatever the first image is, on their smaller screen.
Yeah.
That's my little mobile stats.
Yeah.
Introduction.
And more because we were earlier when I came out, like, we need real life examples. Like, okay, I've got a real life example about mobile usage. So my girlfriend Casey, I don't know if she's watching, she's from the States. Anyway, she had long service leave recently. She's still in the middle of long service leave. And she's like traveling around Southeast Asia, and I went to meet her somewhere. And of course I have, my laptop, my iPad, my gazillion phones. Because I can't live without it, no. So her and I have been chatting about, before she went on the trip, it was like Vietnam, Thailand, etc. And she did the initial bookings on a computer at home. I was like, so what's your plan? Like, you only really have a going in ticket and a coming out ticket. She's like, yeah, I'll just book as I go. So when I met up with her, I was expecting her to have at least her laptop or an iPad.
Because she's a professional as well.
Yeah, she's a professional. She's got a laptop.
She has one.
She's quite tech savvy as well. And so her next leg of the trip was Singapore and Hong Kong, and then she's going to Japan. Thanks for the invite, Casey.
Name drops some hotels.
Yeah. So I know. So we're sitting around. She's like, oh, I gotta book my next leg of the trip. I'm like, okay, expecting her to bust out her iPad. No, she's just using her phone the whole time. It's like, Casey, what are you doing? Do you want to use any of the devices I brought along? And she's like,
extra.
Yeah, and she's like, no, I've been able to book everything using my phone, including flights. And okay, I was like, flights, all right, so there's apps for that. Yeah. Like, what are you doing for hotels? She's like, well, if I'll check out TripAdvisor, and if there's a good rating on the TripAdvisor app, and if there's a good rating, I'll then go to Facebook and send them a message.
The venue.
Yes, the venue's
Facebook.
Yeah, it communicate with them that way.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you're not using email? And so I just found it, I think because of what we do, we watch how other people, because we're not the average user anymore. Like
No.
we've been in this. We know if we want information, we know how to get it quickly. But watching other people who aren't in this space, I always find quite interesting. How are they going to get from point A to point B? So I just found it really interesting that she's like gone on this 3 months. She's done this 3 month one. I probably would have a heart attack if I didn't have anything other than my phone. Like she didn't have any other device with her. Like, what if your phone battery dies? And she's like, I'll just get a new one. I'm like, oh god. But yeah, so she's like booking all of this, just using her
and having those conversations.
And having conversations. Yeah.
And that's actually, I mean, I don't remember all of these stats, but back to that report, there's huge growth in internet coverage, but also social media use in certain areas of the world. But Southeast Asia was one of the ones they specifically mentioned, and I think here, can't quote me, but it might be the Philippines that has the highest social media use, and it kind of filters
We should go.
down there. But the businesses are really used to using social media for their communication. I know when I've been in Bali as well, it's all, you use WhatsApp to communicate with
everyone has
drivers and
Wi-Fi.
hotel managers, and everywhere has free Wi-Fi and the Facebook Messenger, where businesses, you've got to be accessible and have the resources to be responding. I think you were saying, we were talking before as well, even one of the hotels you spoke about, and they have shifts of people who monitor Facebook Messenger throughout the day to make sure they're not missing any potential business and they're answering customers' questions.
For bookings and stuff. So we went to one hotel to get drinks and like watch sunset or something. And one of the other girls we were with got to extend her trip by 4 days. And so I know, she's like, I want to stay too. So she was like looking for accommodation, and just went up to the office or the receptionist and okay, so we did toured a room. This is great. And then she said, if you want to book in, don't bother going to the website. Just send us a Facebook message with the dates.
They're not even trying to drive to their website.
She's like, with the dates and what room you need, and we'll book it that way. And I was just like, what? I love you! This is amazing! But that just, like, I've never seen that here in Australia. And I haven't heard of it in the US. But to see that happening, it's just a glimpse into what's to come, especially if you're in these venues. If you're a hotel, if you take a booking of some sort, obviously, yes, using Facebook Messenger and chatbots are another thing that are starting to trend this year. So just a small example, within Facebook Messenger, you can set up different messages to go out, so like an auto response kind of system. But if you want to get really fancy, there are other tools where you can say someone say you're a pizza shop, and someone sends you a direct message and the word vegan is in it, you can set up the chatbot to send them your vegan, menu. So those things are coming. I think that goes to looking at how customer service is going to change in 2018. I mean, on the downside of that, I think, because we use social media, we want a response right away.
Me too.
But if people, for the most part, I think, understand that if they message you at 2 a.m. in the morning, or message a page at 2 a.m. in the morning, unless you're a massive entity, like Expedia or, something like that, you're probably not going to get a response right away. But you can utilize some of these chatbots that I think that are getting easier for, the general user to put in place.
And they can save time long term. And even what you said, I love that vegan keyword example because I'm gluten tolerant, and so I was in Sydney a couple of months ago, and we were going to a cafe the next morning. So it wasn't 2 a.m., but it was maybe 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. and we were going to this cafe the next morning. Their website wasn't clear as to what their menu was. So I sent them a message on their Facebook page because that was the only kind of contact. They were pushing me to Facebook as the main point of contact. Sent them a message, do you have gluten-free options? I got a reply about 6 days later. We actually went, and I just asked when I got there, and thankfully there was. So I was like, I'll just deal with it. But it took 6 days for them to actually see it and reply. And then I was like, oh, it's okay. I came in on Wednesday, and I had the congee, and it was really lovely. Thank you.
It was so nice.
Maybe pop on your menu, but it's gluten-free.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're a very small business, and obviously it does take time to set these things up. So I think once you know and like spend time looking and see what the features are and think about the end user and what they're asking, and particularly with those types of things, it's like, you know, I know frequently asked pages on websites can sometimes get a bad rap, but if people are constantly asking you the same types of questions, they want to know the answers. So if you can use those answers in your regular organic posts, or now putting them into features like chatbots to save time and be really helpful, then everyone should be happy. Back to video.
Oh, yes, video. I went on a tangent.
We did go on
now we're just screaming and going overseas.
I'm feeling really hungry.
Hungry, we need a vacation.
I do want to talk back about using these new features, particularly things like video and Facebook Live and even Instagram stories, because I think a lot of people and businesses can be a bit nervous about using them because they do feel like they expose you. And even I feel like that the first time I did a Facebook Live, and even right before we started, like, because it's not, I mean, there are some people who I think were naturally comfortable in front of a camera and naturally like to share, but for a lot of us, we actually have to push ourselves and become comfortable. So would you have any tips for businesses who might be interested in using things like Facebook Live or even just video or Instagram stories and how they can get into it?
I think my first tip is just jump in. I mean, even though you don't like to delete content, jump in, and if you don't like what you're doing, just delete, right, and start over.
We forget sometimes that we do actually have the option to delete posts.
Yes.
Obviously, if things get published, people can screenshot it, people can do this kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, you make it, I mean, you can edit so many posts now, but I put a typo in a tweet, I delete it, because I can't handle typos.
Yes. I think, okay, so for Facebook Live specifically, you don't need all the bells and whistles to start using it. One nice thing to do to kind of practice is you have a personal profile because you need that to manage your Facebook page. You can actually practice and on your phone, when you go to your personal profile, you select the audience as only you, so you can practice
your own profile to yourself,
just so you can get comfortable to see what the camera sees. Usually when I work with clients who, if I'm not there to help them, I have them do it and then it's like play it back. Not so much to your voice, like actually hearing my voice.
I know, it's so bad, isn't it?
But to hear how much you have to project. That's the other thing, like project. Talk louder than you think you actually need to talk, especially if you're not going to go down the route of getting a microphone. But yeah, so just jump in, do that. I think the other thing is decide which way you're going to be lighting it up, right? So if you start this way, you're always going to be going this way. If you go this way, don't switch because it doesn't really work that well.
Doesn't catch up. Just end up on the side.
I would say do that. If you want to go down the route of using a computer, obviously there are more features when you're on a computer doing Facebook Live than when you're on a phone. When you're on a phone, it's just kind of like, I'm going to go live. 1, 2, 3, go. So don't be afraid to just jump in and start. And, obviously this one's a bit longer, shooting for about 45 minutes.
Yes.
Time will actually go longer than you expect. I do some Facebook Lives with recipes, and you think, oh, I'm making a recipe, I'll make some cold rolls or whatever it is. This will take 5 minutes. It'll be like 20 minutes before, because you're talking, if you're talking with someone, but if you're obviously just Facebook Living with your audience, you're going to have questions, you're going to see people who have joined in, you're going to say hi to them, that kind of thing. So if you expect a 10-minute Facebook Live, maybe just do a 20-minute kind of thing. Yeah. And Instagram stories, like, that's an easy one, like you were doing with some of your clients. Look at what your audience stories, what they're doing.
Look at things like, this is the thing, I mean, even I'm doing it. I'm not a big user of stickers and emojis and filters on my own personal Instagram stories yet. But I'm looking at other people and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, how do I do that? That might work with this. And I play around a lot with my own, not that I do a lot of personal Instagram stories, but that's where I feel like it's my own sandbox. Even though I'm sharing that with my personal audience, it's not affecting my brand page or my client's pages, but I'm getting to play.
And the nice thing with Instagram stories is you can basically create a story, add your stickers, add your location, but you don't have to publish it. So you can get used to what that, like how the features all work before you actually go live with anything. And again, if there's anything in the story you don't like, you can always delete it.
So I think with Instagram now being able to use, when they first brought out stories, they had to be kind of photos taken within story mode or within the last 24 hours, whereas now you can select your own older video, so it doesn't actually need to be live video, it could be a video you've already taken. It can be older photos, so you can actually plan if you want to curate a story that happens throughout the day, rather than just acting off the cuff if you're a little bit nervous about just seeing what happens. I think doing that, particularly on like work in progress photos, or if you want to introduce team members or something, you can actually plan ahead and go, okay, I've got 4 to 6 updates, either video or photo, that you can post into that story throughout the day. I think we have to schedule into stories now, schedule notifications for stories. And just kind of echoing what you were saying, when obviously we've been talking about doing a lot of video on the phone and you don't need to have all the bells and whistles. And I think that's, we can get away with not having a full professional setup, and it doesn't need to be a huge budget cost. And obviously you want to be good content and interesting content. But providing the camera formats the right way, the picture is in focus, the light's okay. The sound's okay, it's not echoing, you haven't got huge background noise. Our phones are pretty amazing, so we don't actually need, obviously there is benefit in doing professional video when you need professional video, but for social it's often that raw behind the scenes. And again, we're going back to end users. This is what end users are doing. They're capturing video of what they're seeing, what they're doing, so they're not expecting their brands to be perfectly polished and putting out this production quality. As it's that, I want to see what these businesses are actually about, what they're actually doing. And if you are doing that polished content, Instagram, prime example, unfortunately isn't that instant anymore as far as the news feed goes. So you're seeing a lot of brands put all that polished content on their organic feed, their news feed, and then they're utilizing Instagram stories for that behind the scenes, deliveries coming in, deliveries going out, whatever it is, to be a bit more raw and real, and this is what's happening in the moment. Giving their end users that, sneak peek into what they normally would be able to see. Oh, the example I was telling you beforehand about, there was a link, I think I shared it on the Scout page late last week, about this business. It was a restaurant somewhere in the US that was trialing, so they weren't really sure what to do for their social media strategy, so they were trialing a few different platforms, and the one they actually ended up sticking with, because they're like, we actually can't maintain everything, we don't have the resources to do Twitter and Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and all this kind of thing, but they tried, I think they even trialed everything for like a week, so it's kind of an interesting take to go, okay, let's focus on one of these. But they found it was their Instagram stories that apparently had lines around the block, because they gave it to their back of house staff, and it was the chefs and the kitchen hands and the people plating up, and their Instagram stories were all focused on preparing the food, plating up the food, getting the food out. So it was that literal behind the scenes of what a lot of people wouldn't see. And people love to Instagram and photograph food when it comes out to the table, but let's show them what it's like when we're actually creating it. So sometimes it's not always the youngest person or the receptionist who necessarily needs to have social media shoved in as part of their job. It might be, if
a variety of the team members.
And if they're comfortable doing it as well, and it's an extra couple of seconds showing the food.
It doesn't need to be polished, it doesn't need to be, it's just in the moment.
Instant. And stories are a bit more instant, I think, rather than the algorithm feed. And even the other example I mentioned was something really simple during the heat wave that we had a couple of weeks ago. Because I've had a heat wave for a while.
Just
I can't remember if it was last week or the one before. South Australian SES put out on their Instagram, it's super cute. They've got a little video of one of their workers giving a koala a drink of water. And it only goes for about 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. And it was dark, but they had a light shone on it, and this poor koala was all dehydrated. Somebody had just taken this, pulled out their mobile phone. It wasn't done live, I think they must have given it to someone afterwards. But one of the workers was giving the koala a drink. Someone else had pulled out the phone and started filming it, short little clip. shared it on their social, something that most of us wouldn't even think about or see.
Yeah.
We're all thinking about how hot we are
Yeah.
and maybe our pets, but not wildlife. So I think that was really cool and really instant and making use of what's around you.
So I definitely think, this year I've covered a few things.
We have, sorry, my phone just, we're talking about the importance of mobile and reliance on mobile, and I was trying to check the questions on here, and it just has gone down. So yeah, hopefully it's just pizza requests.
If they push it after they can.
Captions on the video. Yeah, that's a great suggestion, Deb. So yeah, there's little edits you can do to your content afterwards, and it's a way of repurposing, and you can reshare. And even this live is going to be available on the page because it turns into a video that people can watch, and all of a sudden the page has a piece of content, and we could download it and cut it up into short snippets and use it elsewhere. So you've got heaps of stuff there. And Sophie said when you're managing multiple, it can be challenging deciding the time. Time is hard. How much time should we dedicate per brand per week? Per brand or per channel for the listening? I don't know if there's a definite time. It's going to kind of depend because, obviously this is your space. I know the thing that I found, particularly with smaller brands, and particularly when you're starting out, it might not require as much time because there's not a lot going on, but it is a little bit of like how much effort you put in is how much effort you get out as well. And I know we haven't talked much about Twitter today, but I'm still persevering with Twitter. But Twitter for me feels like one of those places where people are just scheduling their messages, pushing out their links and their content, and no one's actually spending time there to review the tweets that are coming through and having a lot of conversations there anymore. So it's feeling very just broadcasty. And that's actually something that I found I was doing as well. And now I've had to go, okay, I'm spending at least like 10 or 15 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon scrolling through my feeds. Obviously, still, thankfully, in chronological order. For now. But I'm actually scrolling through and looking for things that might be relevant to retweet, new users that might pop up to follow if they've been mentioned, people to try and start a conversation with, and it's getting that habit back in. And at the moment, I'm only doing it. I'm trying to do 10 minutes a day, kind of at the top and tail each day. Or rather than scrolling through my own back through Instagram or Facebook, actually going to Twitter and just spending some time
on there,
jumping through and seeing what there is.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It does depend on the brand and what's happening. I guess within if you've got like an annual marketing calendar, this month there may not be anything going on, but or maybe at the end of this month you guys are doing something for Fringe, and so then you're going to be dedicating a lot more time because that chatter around Fringe is going to be quite big. But then thinking about what tools you can put in place to help make that listening efficient. One tool that I do like to use is Hootsuite. They've got a free version, a paid version, and then a super paid version.
But I actually call it the super paid.
No,
I think they should.
The super paid, yeah. But even the free version, you can do some good listening around, your Facebook, like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and things like that. But there are things. Sprout's another good one. One tool that Brand24 is another one that I use. However, they don't geo-target Brand24. You should geo-target. But those are good ones too. So I think in the beginning, maybe don't think about I'm going to have to set aside an hour a day or whatever it is. I need to set aside time to set up the tool to make this efficient for me. And then even if it's like, okay, I'm going to start by carving out 10 minutes a day just to go look to see what the chatter is. And in a lot of these tools, I know
that habit, isn't it?
Yeah, get in the habit of doing it. Like Brand24, you can start culling things. So, if you've got a pretty broad keyword, say the name of your brand could also be the first name of someone. But so you'll have to spend some time kind of going through and telling the tool itself, because the tool is learning, but you have to tell it like, I don't want this type of content. So I think
you have to help the machines to learn.
Yes, they're not at that point where they're learning themselves yet. So yeah, so think about it first. Okay, I'm going to dedicate time to set up the tool and help the tool learn. And then from there, it's okay, 5 minutes a day, or at the end of, I wouldn't say at the end of every week, because then at the end of the week it just turns into I'll do it next week. So maybe it's the middle of the week. I'm going to set aside half an hour just to see what's been happening in the last week or the last 3 to 4 days, or we know that this big event in Adelaide is coming up, so there's going to be a lot more chatter. So I'm going to give myself a buffer. Maybe I'm going to give myself an hour, and then you'll start figuring out, how much time you'll need on your own.
So that can grow over time as well, because it's a bit of a what you get out, what you put in type thing. But you also need to make it manageable within your workload. And most of us are trying to do lots of different things for our clients and our accounts, which makes it hard. And even, it's not, it's relatively new, but being able to follow hashtags on Instagram now, I think it's kind of, not exactly social listening, but it could be a way that you could start to engage more. Just think about some of those main hashtags that maybe you use or are relevant to kind of updates you're doing with kind of people, particularly if, like you said, the event example is a great one. If the event has its own hashtag, and you can follow that and just make sure you're checking like once a day or every other day what posts have gone about the hashtag, and commenting on their quality comments.
Yes.
And engaging and new follows and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I love the ones that I get. I did a couple recently, and they were like, they're so obviously spam. Because it was a quote. It was a picture with a quote, or like it was a flag on the background with a quote. And I was like, I love this photo. It's so beautiful. And I'm like, that's not even up your game, spammers.
Yeah.
Little ninja there. Okay, did we cover? I just want to check what this is like. Really super awkward here. Yeah, Rebecca, that was a great tip that Jen gave about practicing Facebook Live on your own profile, first of all. And I think just also being, open for the mistake. It's hard when you're doing it on behalf of a client, and I think like recognising some of the names, a lot of us actually manage social on behalf of clients, and our clients can be a little bit nervous about it. It's easier when it's your own. Like the first Facebook Live I did on the Scout page, I completely ballsed it up. But I just had to go with it because it happened. Yeah. And I spoke to some people after them, and they're like, "Oh, it's fine. Like it's Facebook Live. It's all good." And that's hard to explain to clients sometimes. Like you said, you can delete it if it goes wrong.
And I think just also, working for your clients, doing the lives, Facebook Lives, just managing maybe expectations as well.
That's a good point.
Social is a friendly platform. You are live. Obviously, if you work for a client, you know kind of the guidelines and what not to do and what to do. But things can happen. I was telling Erica, a couple months ago, I was doing a Facebook Live again, another recipe, shocking. The fire alarm went off 3 times. And I was like, well, I'm not going to stop. But we just kept going. I've done another one where the person's phone rang. It was his brother telling him he was on Facebook Live.
Oh God!
But I think that's the beauty of it. You can have a bit of fun, and it's okay if things like that. Like obviously, if the fire alarm goes off and your house is burning down,
and you need to evacuate.
Yes, but this was just a sensitive fire alarm. We just had a few things roasting that probably needed to be taken out of the oven. But
and it's real life.
It is, but I think you can back that up with, having a look at your analytics behind doing it, and doing a comparison of, we do post photos, or this is how Facebook Live compares to some of the other content we post. If you're, from what I'm seeing when we do them, the Facebook Live, the engagement and the reach is always a lot higher than what we're organically posting. Not that you're going to do Facebook Live every day, but maybe it's, every maybe it's, every once a week, or commit to once a month, and it's, and then you can kind of build that into your community as well, that they know that, the first Friday of every month we're going to do a cocktail or whatever it is.
Create those expectations of your audience.
Yeah. So
and I think you can then buffer your other organic content around that as well. Because I mentioned, I'm going to be sharing some links to some of the resources we've mentioned after this. So all of a sudden, there's 4 or 5 more posts that I can do talking about Brand 24 and the social, We Are Social Hootsuite report and sharing those snippets.
Hootsuite super paid.
Super paid version. You heard it first.
Yeah.
So yeah, and analytics, just to wrap up on that,
Yeah.
that is going to be super important. And even like we talked about with the decline in organic reach that pages are seeing, it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on even more than usual. And that's something that I kind of sent out not a warning, but it was a notification, because obviously for those of us who work in social, we all would have seen the update. A lot of our clients don't see this, and some of them assume that everyone sees their Facebook posts.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of go, oh, yeah. Even when we're giving you reports, you're obviously not reading them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I let a couple of my clients know that this is the change that's going to be happening. At the moment, I haven't seen a decline.
Yeah.
And maybe it's going to hit the US, maybe it's going to hit bigger brands first, we don't know. But it's really important to look at what posts are working, and if they start to dip down, is it time to pull? If you're doing a regular
pivot.
Pivoting. If you're doing a regular, this is always my fallback example. If you're doing a regular Monday morning motivation post, people might get sick of it and it might decline after a while. So you need to be constantly pivoting, and that strategy needs to be quite dynamic.
Yeah.
But you're only going to know that if you're looking at your analytics. And you might not have time to look at them all the time, but try and glance at them as you're going so you can see when things are starting to dip. But if you're doing that monthly review or using a tool like Hootsuite or jumping into the insights once a week or for a good look, then you can know when those dips are starting to happen, so you can find something else to pivot to. Cool. We've gone totally over.
I know.
We
realized this will be 45 minutes.
We had our time.
We went over the buffer.
But thanks for those people who have stuck around. I know we didn't get to comment or answer all of the comments there, but we'll go through and do some written answers there as well. Thank you very much, Jen, for coming and sharing your time and your insights today. So just a quick recap. We talked about video.
Change is coming. Woo!
Yeah.
Utilizing current features, getting familiar with them, because new features are going to roll out, and those new features could be building on the current features, or they could just be brand spanking new. So.
Yeah, and some of them you might find out from just logging into the channels, and sometimes you might.
What's that?
If you have a trusted person who can tell you when things are happening, or certain accounts that you follow, like we all follow some industry blogs. I know as business owners, it's sometimes a bit harder, so you might need somebody else to filter that information and tell you what you need to be looking at. But have a look at what's going on. Advertising, getting used to the Ads Manager platform and think about the different styles of ads you can use, and potentially running multiple campaigns as well. So and having that dedicated ads budget for 2018.
Yeah. So mobile.
Think about mobile.
Yes.
And have fun.
Yes, it is. As well. Have fun. And, have fun. Try not to be a focus group of one. Just because you don't use the social platform in a particular way doesn't mean your user isn't going to use it in that way. So really try to think of yourself. If I'm my target audience and I'm doing XYZ, how would I get to the piece of information from my company or something?
And I'll admit to this, and I thought about it when you mentioned Nate watching videos, because I'm not a natural video watcher. I don't. I read long form posts. I love blog posts. I love written content. I don't watch videos very much. And I don't like videos when they autoplay the sound. I like silence, and I choose to listen to the sound. My husband, huge video watcher, same thing. I was like, did you see this video on Facebook? And it's this joke between us where he's like, did you know Facebook has video now? I'm coming around to it, and I do it for clients. It's just a personal thing that I had to go. Just because I don't do it doesn't mean everybody else does it. And even Instagram stories, it actually took me a little while. I'm just like, jump on something else. And I was that person who was going, okay, well, I'm just going to start looking at other people's, and I'm going to, oh wow, this is the way people are using emojis, and this is the way people are using filters and stuff. And just because I work in the industry doesn't mean I jump onto everything straight away. And there's a few people that I watch, and these are friends of mine, not just brands. My friends have incredibly entertaining. Laura and Sue, like my favourite Instagram story people. And I just love seeing the way that they use it as users. They're not doing it as brands, not doing it as influencers. They're just, and it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what can I steal from what they're doing? And that's just playing around and getting in there. Cool. So
On that
every time. Yes, if you want to learn more,
yes.
Jen is running a series of Scout digital training courses for us over the next couple of months.
Yes.
So first one starts next week.
Yes, so that's the introduction to social media. And we were talking about, some people may think, oh, I've got my Facebook page set up. I'm all set. I'm introed in.
I don't need to be introduced to Facebook.
There's a lot
Facebook
more than just having your Facebook page set up when it comes to starting in the world of social media. So that course, I think, even if you have been using the platforms, for a bit of time, but if some of the things that we've talked about, the advertising platform, or trying different, types of content is new to you, it would be a good one to come along to.
You
Have your phone charged.
Yes. We will have charges and PowerPoints available. So these are all half-day courses. The introduction course really is, it's going to be a little bit high level, but it's touching a lot of stuff, like best practices for setting up platforms. Even if you've got them set up, you might not be using all of the features, and we'll talk about some stuff today. So making sure you've got, we're focusing on those big four, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, probably more of an emphasis on Facebook and Instagram. We'll see what people are using. Make sure they're set up properly. Touching on advertising, touching on analytics, strategy,
a little bit of everything.
So if you want a little bit of a refresher or a good start to 2018 intro courses, you're looking one.
And then after that, we're doing developing strategy. So that's kind of your overall social strategy, because you don't want to just be throwing things on the wall and seeing if they stick. There needs to be a purpose to. You're putting a lot of effort. Even if you're doing it yourself, and you're like, oh, this isn't costing me anything, it's costing you your time. So just being sure that the things that you do, are fulfilling your objectives. You're using the channels the way your users would want you to use the channels. So going over that.
Who your target audiences are. You've got that profile.
Talk about your brand voice. So we're essentially be helping you write a strategy.
And there's a template that go along with that as well.
And then from there it's content strategy. So
whole morning on content strategy.
That's like, when you think of content, again, it's not just throwing it on the wall to see what sticks. It comes down to, you've got your organic, or not your evergreen content, and then your timely content. And how can those things work in parallel? How can you use each one to help fulfill your objectives from your strategy? And what your content on Facebook is, hopefully what you're doing is different than what your content is on Instagram. Because one thing that I'm seeing a lot is just due to the population size of Australia, you're probably going to have a good overlap with fans on Facebook and Instagram. And what you don't want to have happen is, like, you put out this beautiful piece of content on Instagram and then you just share it to Facebook. So someone who's scrolling through Facebook sees it, and then they flip over to Instagram and like, oh, I've just seen this. I might as well just unfollow.
That's like having my personal accounts, I have to admit. I'm just like, I actually want a filter on Facebook that goes, just pull out Instagram posts. Most of my friends, I see your stuff on Instagram. I see your stuff on Facebook. If I follow you on Instagram, I'm actually probably not going to like your Facebook. Instagram post.
So, I'm always like, hey, I already double tapped that on Instagram. You don't get a like on Facebook. So then from there we go into a session on advertising.
So that's a whole half-day session on social media advertising.
How to use it, so getting you set up on the platform, how to use it, running through the objectives, types of ads, ads manager. Looking at how you can create an advertising calendar, essentially, because now I know with my clients, we're running simultaneous ads. You need to be a bit organized. Have to, or you're just going to end up with like a bill for a gajillion dollars. You don't want that. You want to be sure that your money's being used effectively.
There's probably a lot of things we've mentioned. I know we've talked about carousel ads and slideshow ads and video ads and all other sorts of ads and the objectives that you can choose with an ads manager. So if this is stuff you're not familiar with, that's all going to be going through it in that course.
It has to be numbers. I love numbers. And then the last one, which is like I really love numbers, is analytics and reporting. So we've already said it. You're going to put time into building your communities, and getting your communities to engage with you. You want to be sure that you're putting out the right content, the content that resonates with them, and you can't really know if it does that unless you're looking at analytics. So that one we'll be looking at, native insights that each of the platforms offer, which, Facebook has come a long way. I'm pretty happy with it. Even Twitter's insights have come a long way. So looking at how you can utilize that, we'll be setting up, like a monthly, if you don't already have like a monthly reporting template, like what are your business objectives and what everyone's insights may not be the same thing, right? So, some people may be like, at the end of the day, we just need people to go to the website. Or at the end of the day, I just need people to book into these events because I hosted, whatever it is. So it's setting up a monthly template that works for you and then showing you how you can get that information, pull it, and really decipher it.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not just a bunch of numbers.
Because that's the thing, it's not just, any of us can look at the numbers, and so that's how with the Google Analytics courses as well. Any of us can look at the numbers, we can log in. It's actually focusing on the numbers that are important to you, and then kind of knowing what to do with them.
Yeah.
So what does this actually mean? So if we start to see a trend of engagement going down, we need to change something. Dig a little deeper, find out what is working best. So that's the 5 courses that Jen's going to be running. They're all half-day courses, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're all in the Facebook events list. They should all be in there now on the Scout Digital Marketing and Training page. Otherwise, you can go to scoutdigitaltraining.com.au and check them all out there. They're all held at the IDC on Young Street in the city. It's in a dedicated computer training facility. So like Jen said, it's very cool. You can bring your own laptop along if you like, but everyone has a PC available for them, so you can log in. You're going to be looking at your accounts and your data, and for the insights, for the analytics and reporting, it's like you look at your insights. So it's not just generic information that we're going through, it's really making it practical and effective and hands-on, because we've got those 4 hours, we want to get the most out of it. So if there's one of them that interests you, or a couple of them, they work really well together if you want to piece them together. Great training notes and bits and pieces that go along with it. So check them out on the website and get those booked. They're really great for, obviously we both work as consultants, really good for freelancers and consultants who are looking to upskill or just keep on top, or maybe if you're adding social media as part of your traditional marketing, if you're working as a marketer already, either internally or in an agency, they'll work really well. Agency people, account managers, it's really important stuff to have your head around these days, even as a kind of traditional agency. PR, small business owners as well. We're not discriminating anything here. So if you're wanting to manage your own social media and really know what you're doing, whether you're doing it for yourself or on behalf of other clients, then check them out. So cool. Thank you. Thanks to everybody who stuck around. Like I said, we'll go through all of the any extra questions and answer them and share those resources that we mentioned.
First, we're going to go get pizza.
Pizza. It's too early for wine, but definitely pizza. Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.